Welcome into another edition of the PHLY Phillies Draft Prospect Preview. Kind of throwing a wide net here on some guys that could hopefully be available at pick 27 for the Phillies on Sunday. Maybe some will be gone, maybe some will be there. But profiling some of the upcoming draft selections. Today's is one that a lot of people, if you are a college baseball fan, are aware of. Tommy White, a.k.a. Tommy Tanks from LSU. He's 21 years old. He is their third baseman. Stands at 6'1", 228 pounds. We'll get into his scouting grades in a second. But old Tommy Tanks started out his career as a DH at NC State, the home, an alumni, well, not alumni because maybe Trey Turner didn't graduate, but the former program of Trey Turner. Before switching to LSU because he wanted to get into the field to improve his draftability. Now, defense is his concern, and we'll get into all of that. But the scouting grades for old Tommy Tanks, this guy has got some absolute power. Scouting grades, his hitting grade comes in at a 55. His power overall is a 70, which is rare to see somebody that high on the scale. Again, the scouting scale goes from 20 to 80. Anything above 70 is a plus category. So Tommy Tanks' power is near the top of the first round in this draft. His running, don't expect a lot from him. More the Kyle Schwarber type. His running comes in at a 30. His arm is solid at a 50. Fielding is a 40. Overall, a 55 grade as a prospect. The power definitely surges him up there with some low numbers in the field and his running. So defense is the main concern here with Tommy White. Did start his career as a DH in NC State, and then he switched over to Baton Rouge and LSU. And his first year in the field was an utter disaster. 13 errors and a measly .859 fielding percentage, which is quite terrible. He did improve things a lot last year. His errors dropped down to 3 on the season, and his fielding percentage went up to a .971. So it depends how you view that. If you view the first year as a learning curve, you could spin that as he really improved his defense and made him more draftable if you are hoping he can play the field for you. Some scouts are still skeptical about that. He could be a long-term first baseman / DH. So something to keep in mind for the teams taking a look at Tommy White. Not necessarily a lock to play the field, but he is an incredibly talented offensive prospect with quick hands. The scouts rave about his quick hands. He's an aggressive hitter, and he can put it to all fields of play. He set the freshman Division I record for home runs in a season at NC State. He has pop. Last year, Tommy White had a slash line of 374, 432, 725, 24 home runs, 105 RBIs in only 66 games for the Tigers, and he was a big part of why they won their 7th College World Series. He does not walk as much as some scouts and evaluators would like to see, so that's something they're going to try and develop with him, but he does have an incredible contact rate through the zone. This is according to Baseball America. His in-zone contact rate was 87%, including 92% against sliders, and he pulverizes the ball to all fields. He has an overall 75% contact rate as a college hitter. Pretty incredible offensive numbers there. So if you want a big bopper in your system and maybe your positions in the field are all tied up, Tommy White definitely is going to speak to a lot of teams. Probably slightly unlikely he's on the board at 27, but if he is, that type of power is going to make you think. So Tommy White, we'll see where he goes on Sunday, but somebody's going to get some pop in their system.
We all silly like the mayor.